I am Brittany with the Discover Dairy program, and we are so excited that you are joining us today as we get to meet Farmer Katie and, of course, your adorable calves, Faith and Maddie. First, this live chat is part of the Adopt a Cow program. More than 40,000 teachers and 1 million students every year join this program for free, thanks to the generous supporters like the Dairy Alliance and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. The Adopt a Cow and Discover Dairy programs are free online resources that cover Common Core standards in math, reading, and science, all while using dairy concepts to teach those lessons. You can go to discoverdairy.com to access all of those resources. We'd also love for you to join the fun in the Adopt a Cow program next year. So if you're interested in joining again, or you're new to this program and want to join, you can go ahead to discoverdairy.com/adopt, ADOPT, and there you can either log in and re-enroll, or if you're new to the program, go ahead to that website, register, and get started. Next, as everyone continues to join us live today, you'll see that that chat feature is enabled. Please feel free to use that chat feature to comment and ask questions all throughout our chat. We do ask that you just make sure you keep those questions and comments school appropriate and related to our time with Farmer Katie. We are very excited to hear your questions, and I know Farmer Katie is excited to answer them. Now, before we go over to Farmer Katie, let's see who's joining us today. So let's take a peek at that chat, and let's see. So we had Miss Watkins was one of the first ones to join us this morning from Lucidale, Mississippi. So hello and welcome. Thank you so much for hopping on with us today. We've got some folks from Byram, Mississippi, Batesville, Amory. We've got some folks from Chalabaty. I apologize if I'm butchering that elementary school, but you guys are from Walnut. So hello and good morning. Got some folks from Oxford, third grade class from Tunica. We've got EJE in Jones County. Hello and good morning. Some folks from Greenville, third graders from Florence, Potts Camp, third graders from Pisgah Elementary. And let's scroll down here a little bit further. We've got Laurel Upper Elementary, first graders from Ocean Springs, and we've got some folks from Terry, Mississippi, who have loved watching Maddie, and we agree, we loved watching Maddie too. And one more, Preparatory Learning Academy in Macomb. So hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. You all know where that chat is now, so go ahead and continue using that all throughout our time. In the second half of our chat, we'll make sure to get to those questions as best as we can and get those answered for you. So without further ado, I am pleased to introduce you to Farmer Katie. Hey, Farmer Katie, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great. Oh,
We are doing really well. We're excited to have you today, and excited to see our girls and learn a little bit more about you guys. So I'll let you take it away, Farmer Katie, and tell us about you and your farm.
Hi, okay, my name is Katie, and I am here at Mauthe Farms. I am a fourth generation dairy farmer. We milk about 52 cows, and we obviously host Maddie and Faith, and they're here eating their feed. We just fed them so they would be calm and collected here. This is Faith. She 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 says don't touch me when I'm eating. But yeah, so we on farm processing here. We don't ship anything off the farm in a milk truck. Everything stays here, and then we bottle it, process it, and do cheese and cheesecakes, and then um we bring it directly to the stores. So that's what we
Wow.
do here on the farm.
That's awesome.
Hey,
I
Faith.
love that you guys have a
Yeah,
very different story than I think most farmers, where a lot of farms, their milk gets sent off to a co-op or somewhere to get processed. So you guys do everything in-house. About how much milk do
everything.
you, like maybe how many gallons or maybe how many pounds do you guys process maybe in a day or a month or a year? What's the easiest number for you to give us?
The probably the easiest number to give y'all is about 175 gallons a day. So
Wow.
that's a lot.
175 gallons a day is what you're
Yeah,
processing. And that's getting
yeah,
turned into all those goodies that you mentioned, which sounds really delicious. Farmer Katie, what is
yeah.
your favorite product to make out of your milk?
My favorite product is the cheesecake. So, and our cheesecakes are unique. We make a Creole cream cheese, which is
Mm.
a curd of cheese with the cream poured on the top of it. Well, we take that cheese and that is, yeah. our cheesecakes out of. And so it makes them very rich and creamy and super yummy.
Oh, oh yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Now, where are some of those
Yeah.
places that you can get that get any of your supplies? I know you said that you ship it off to certain stores. Do you have anything on
We
farm
do.
or is everything in other retail stores?
No, you can come to the farm. Yeah, we love for people to come to the farm. You can come here. You can purchase everything that we make because we actually make some little specialty cheeses like some farmhouse cheddar, some fetas. Um, we'll do butter. We have lots of butter, and our butter is fresh. It's unsalted. It's just strictly just cream that is churned into butter. Um, it's another one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, yeah, that sounds really good
Yeah.
and really fresh for sure.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, so you can come here or we do I heard that there was a Macomb um school. So we do
Hmm.
go to the corner market. It's a store in Macomb. We go to Knight's Meat Market in Brookhaven. We go to a little place called Maine's Market. It is in Folsom, Louisiana, and Franklinton. And then we're also across the lake in New Orleans. So just a couple of the stores would be Langenstein's food store, Zapardo's. They're an old family-owned business, just like we are,
Okay.
and so we bring cheesecakes and milk and stuff there too.
Oh man, hopefully some of you heard those and want to definitely go check it out
Yeah,
because you don't want to miss out on the delicious products. So, Farmer
that's right.
Katie, to make those products, what does your typical day look like to care for the cows so we can get that delicious milk?
So a typical day starts around 3:30 in the morning, and our cows have to be the milk cows, so their mom has to be milked twice a day. We get up at 3:30 in the morning, we milk her, then we feed the heifers like Maddie and Faith here. And so we feed up everything, and then by that time we get to have our lunch. And so
Mhm.
we eat lunch, and then it's time to milk again. So then we get the mama cows back up and we put them in the barn and we milk them. And in between all of that, we have to do our processing. So the milk that we get from the cows that morning, we will process that day. The milk that comes from the cows that afternoon goes in and commingles with the milk for the next morning. So it's the afternoon and morning milking just one day, and that is what we process that day.
Interesting. Very cool.
Yeah.
And you said you milk them twice a day. Now, what does that milk process look like? Is it like I know you said twice a day, but is it a long process or is it a short process? Can you talk about that milking experience a little bit?
Yes. So we have we can milk 8 cows at one time. They all come in the barn, they eat their feed while they're milking. And it takes about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes to milk 8 cows. Um, But start to finish, there's a lot of prep before you milk, and there's a lot of cleanup after. Nobody likes to clean up, but we all have to clean up. So yeah, so we clean up after, and so that takes some time. So all in all, probably about 4 hours. If you ask my 17-year-old, he does it, super fast. So he might say, "Oh, mom, I get it done in 3 hours." Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's funny. So the whole
Yeah.
thing, top to bottom, for you as the farmer is 3 to 4 hours, but for the cow itself, it's only a few minutes that she's in there and then she's back out. And then she gets to come do
Yeah.
exactly what we're seeing these beautiful ladies do here. I'm
Yep.
thinking two of these are Faith and Maddie. Which ones are which?
So this is Faith. This is Faith here. And Maddie is actually down on the very end down there. She's kind of like the head of the table. She likes to rule the roost here.
I
She's
see that. Now
Yeah, she's at the
they're
head of
all
the table
munching
down
on
there.
something. What are they munching on?
They are. So this is our feed. It's a corn mix. So it's got corn and some vitamins and some minerals in it, and
Okay.
the corn is crushed, so it's easy for them to digest. Oh, look, there's Maddie. She's gonna show out for everybody. She says, "Hey, everybody, I
Aw, hi,
see
Maddie.
you." She's sweet, super sweet.
Aw.
Faith, on the other hand, she's sweet too. They're all sweet. Jerseys are very sweet, sweet, docile animals. Um, Faith is, I say she's a lot like my niece. She's very headstrong. She kind of does her own thing. Um, she's a typical girl.
Gotcha. And a typical
Yeah.
attitude Jersey girl on top of that. She's got
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Oh my goodness. So they all, is
Yeah.
this, so where we're at right now in this pasture, is this where they normally are living every day?
This is where they are living every day. Yes. They get free roam of all this pretty grass and they'll forage on the grass a lot. They love grass. Our jerseys are they are primarily grass fed. So they only get the little bit of grain even when they're little and growing up. Um so yeah, so I mean they just eat. They eat all day. That's all they do.
So
Eat
they
and
eat,
sleep.
right? They eat. They've got the grass that they get to nibble on. They've got this grain they get to nibble on. Now, I think I might have seen something behind you. Is there even a hay rack or something behind you too that
There
they can nibble on?
is.
Hmm.
Yes, and that the hay that is in that rack right now, that is actually considered a what they call baleage. That's what
Okay.
we call it here. I don't know if it's called the same thing all across the United States, but
Hmm.
so it's grass, it's green grass that we cut,
Hmm.
and typically you let grass dry and cure to where it just kind of the stem will break in half. Well, with this particular grass, it's ryegrass that we grow during the winter. So when the summer months are coming on, instead of losing that forage, we will take it and wrap it into plastic wrap. So it goes into a round bale, a big round bale, and then you
Hmm.
wrap it in plastic wrap and you let it ferment. And by it fermenting, it keeps the nutrients, and then that's what we're able to actually feed them as well. So it still gives them some roughage, but they get
Okay.
all the good nutrients from the ryegrass.
Gotcha. Very
So
cool. So they've got a couple of different options that they can nibble
yeah.
on throughout the day and get
Yes.
lots of good
Yep.
nutrients on different things. So they get to eat and hang out in their pasture. And I know some folks have wondered, some questions were submitted ahead of time, and we've had some questions in the chat. Do do you notice Faith and Maddie hanging out with any specific animals? Like, do they create friends or bonds or anything, or do they kind of just mosey and hang out on their own?
Yeah, no, they create bonds. You'll find that they kind of stick to one particular little calf, like friend, kind of like we do. Um, they have similar interests. They're either if they're bossy, they don't get along with one another. So so they're gonna go separate ways. Um, but yeah, so they do. They have their own little friends.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very cool. Very cool. Now,
Yeah.
do they tend to pick someone their own age, or have you ever seen like a little one and a big one buddy off or anything like that?
Right. So no, this one here is actually a little bit older than
Mhm.
than Faith and Maddie. So she kind of sticks to herself because she tries to rule everything, and she'll bully them. So we typically yeah. So we typically don't like for the older ones to stay. We try to keep all of the animals that are the same age together. So
Mhm.
from the time they're born until the time that they go into the dairy barn, they'll all stay together that are the same size. She, on the other hand, is she's actually a show cow. So
Ah,
my nieces are they're theirs. She is theirs. And so she got the great end of the deal. She got to stick out around here with the babies for a little longer. So
gotcha.
she's closer to the house.
Aha, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Now we can
Yeah.
see in some of these ladies' ears, they've got that little yellow button. Can you tell us what
Yes.
that is?
Sure. So the button tells us who they are, because as they grow, their coats change.
Hmm.
So Maddie does not look the same, especially her, as she did when
Hmm.
she was a baby. So as they
Hmm.
get older, their looks change. So for a dairy farmer, they typically will remember, but it is a state identification that we say, hey, this is who she is. So she has a number, and then she has a certificate that she gets in the mail. And on that piece of paper, it says who her mom is, who her dad is, who her grandparents are. So it's kind of like a family tree. And so yeah, so that button says this is who I am. So go look in the papers and see who my grandparents are, and my dad can look for breeding purposes and just things like that.
Gotcha. Very cool. So it just helps you to
Yeah.
keep track of them all because, like you said, they definitely look a lot alike, these beautiful jerseys, and can
Yes,
be a little
yes,
tricky to keep them all in line. Can you just remind
yes.
us one more time? We've got some folks just curious which one was which because we are struggling to remember who is who. Which one
Oh,
is
yeah.
Faith and which one is Maddie?
Okay, so this is Maddie.
This
She's
is Maddie.
here. Yeah, that's Maddie. She's
Aw.
eating by herself. She's over here. She says, "Well, I'm getting all the last little crumbs. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
go over there to the big one."
Nice.
Yeah, so this
Now,
is Maddie, and she's just chomping down.
oh, very cool. So we'll hang out here with Maddie for a little bit. We had someone
Yeah.
curious. Do you ever give the cows treats, or do they pretty much stick to their grain and grass and baleage diet?
Yeah, so they pretty much stick to their grain and grass and baleage diet. You can give them treats. A lot of people will give them, some cows like apples, some cows like um, bread. We have some farmers that'll actually give them bread, and but we've never really, I guess, because it's just a dairy, and it's like, hey, let's hurry up, go give them their feed, and make sure everybody is good and healthy, and then let's get
Hmm.
back to processing. So,
Sure.
yeah, so we'll give them treats every now and then. They do get a bath when we show them. Like,
Hmm.
so Faith and Maddie will actually get shown at our fair, at our local fairs.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, so when we show them, they'll actually get a bath and they'll get a haircut and they'll get their feet trimmed, like a pedicure. And yeah, so they do get special treatment every now and then. Yeah. And
Oh,
here's Faith. Yeah.
there she is.
Yeah. She says, "Don't talk to me. I'm eating."
Now, when we came
Yeah.
over to this feed bunk, we kind of can
Yes.
see, I saw in the back corner another animal. What was wandering around behind you that was joining you in the pasture?
Yes. So that is our my nephew, he went on a venture this past summer and he went and visited our local sale barn on a
Hmm.
Tuesday, and he decided that he wanted a ram and a ewe, and so they're sheep. There, and we had a baby.
Oh, there they
Yeah,
are.
so
Oh,
yeah. So we had our first baby ever on our farm.
oh my gosh. Look
I
at
know, and
them.
it was born like right before Easter, so they really grow very fast.
Oh,
Here
and
comes
they seem to
Papa.
get along with the cows okay in the pasture.
They do, yeah, they do. And from what we've always been told, my dad has always wanted sheep. So a cow will not eat the grass that is in the cow patty. So the sheep will actually eat the cow patty, like, the grass that's in the cow patty. So they just
Huh.
kind of forage on stuff that our cows won't eat. So it's pretty neat.
Well, yeah, that helps keep your whole pasture pretty even then and keeps things
Yes,
down and it just gives them an extra buddy to hang out with, I guess.
it does. Yeah, and they've been fun, so much fun to watch.
Oh,
So, yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
So some other questions that have been coming in. This is a good one, Farmer Katie. Someone was wondering, how do you prevent cows from getting sick? And maybe just talk about, if one does get sick, how do you know? Because they can't tell you. So how do you, as a
Right.
farmer, recognize it? And then what can you do to help them get better or prevent sickness?
So so yeah, so they do get vaccinated against
Hmm.
diseases to
Hmm.
help us to make sure that they are healthy as babies. And then you'll see like their little ears will droop, their noses will be real dry, like if they have a fever, their nose will be real crusty and dry. So that's why when we feed them, we try to look at everybody, make sure everybody's eating, making sure everybody's drinking water, they're acting normal. If they're just kind of hanging out by themselves and not acting normal like us, like when we don't feel good, we like to go and lay down and just kind of
Hmm.
rest. Well, they do the same thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So if they do, we'll try to treat it ourselves. If it's something that we can't treat with a little bit of Tylenol or like mom and dad do to
Hmm.
give you, whatever, then we'll call the veterinarian and we'll have him come out and diagnose them just like you go to the doctor. Well, the vet actually will normally come here to the farm, and they like to come out to the farm just to kind of see the environment that the cow is in, and just to kind of pinpoint what might be happening with them.
Sure. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome. So there sounds like great
yeah,
preventative things that you do as a farmer, but then also you've got that veterinarian on standby to help you with anything if needed. But then I know you as a farmer also tries to handle as many things in-house as possible because
we do.
that's part of your job, being a caretaker of these beautiful girls. So awesome.
That's right. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's right.
We
Yeah.
we have someone who said she actually said, "Hey, my name is Madeline. My nickname is Maddie." So we've loved having Maddie as our class pet. So she shared the name as Maddie, and her question was, "How many generations of your family have worked on this farm, and when did your farm start?"
So I am fourth generation. My and then my nieces, my nephews, and my sons will be fifth generation.
Wow.
Here on this farm, I am the second generation. My kids will be, my son, my nieces, my nephews, they will be the second generation. I mean, third generation.
Aw, that's awesome. So it
Yeah.
sounds like it's a nice
Yeah.
big family experience that
It
everyone gets to
is.
be part of.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yep.
We have another good question. So we talked a little bit about that you give special care to a cow or a calf if they're not feeling well. This one is actually asking about a pregnant cow. So do you do anything different to care for a cow that is pregnant? Does she receive any special treatment, or what is that like for a pregnant cow?
Yeah. So a pregnant cow will actually, well, two different things. Okay, so these animals, these cows, so Maddie, Faith, and the rest of their friends will actually be bred in September. So they will be pregnant. They will stay in this field here until they calve in. Once they have their baby, we will start milking them. So they will be moved to a separate pasture. Um, they will milk for 9 months, and then they will milk for 3 months. We will breed them. Then for
Hmm.
9 months they will carry a baby. Three
Gotcha.
months before they have their baby, they will come to another field. They will be dried up and go to another field to give them just a little rest period before they have their baby.
Gotcha. So that way they can focus
Yeah.
more energy on the calf versus producing milk
Yes.
and their energy. That's cool. And now is that
Yes.
drying up
Yes.
process? Is that just what naturally happens for cows?
Yes, it will naturally happen for cows. You can give them a little, some people give them some treatment just to help
Hmm.
them a little bit.
Hmm.
And it really prevents them from getting sick when they calve back in. Um,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, so yeah, you
Oh,
can
very
help them
cool.
a little bit if you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Okay.
dairy farmers do, some don't. It just
Hmm.
depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. We have had a Farmer Katie, a number of people either saying, "Hey, we're excited that we're coming to see you. Hey, we've already come to see you and thank you," or "How do I come to see you?" So there's many different questions about that. I think you had mentioned to me earlier that you are doing some visits or anything up until the middle of May, but then the summer months you take a break because it's too hot. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. Yep.
Okay, so they can go
Yeah.
to your website and contact you through your website to potentially schedule a visit if there's availability between now and the middle of May. And then if not, some folks were asking about fall. Would you open back up in fall at all for any visits?
We did do a few in the fall. Fall is a very busy time for us trying to kick
Gotcha.
school back off. So we really like the springtime better. So
Spring.
early
Sure.
spring, yeah, we like to do early spring better.
That sounds good. That sounds good. So if you missed
Yeah,
it this year, keep it in mind for next year, and hopefully
that's
you can
right.
catch them in, February, March, April, early May time. Very cool.
Yes. Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
let's see. This is a good question. Someone asked, how old are cows when they begin to milk, when they first start producing milk?
2 years old.
2 years old. So they have their first
Yes.
calf at 2 years old, and then they can start producing milk for the first time.
Yes. Yes.
Very cool.
Yep. Yeah.
Now we talked about what they eat. How much do they drink a day? Do you know?
They drink, oh gosh, I don't know. That's a hard question. You may know better than I do, Brittany.
Well, so I don't know if jerseys are less. I know the average cow will drink about a bathtub full of water a day, or about 40 gallons. But I wasn't sure if jerseys were any different since they are a smaller animal. But I know that's the
Right.
average.
Yeah, I was thinking 30 gallons, but I didn't know how. Yeah, so a bathtub size is perfect.
Awesome.
That's a perfect. Yeah, yeah. Yep.
All right,
Mhm.
very cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, we've got some questions. So we obviously have been checking in on these ladies, but we do have a lot of folks who have been keeping track of the heights and weights of our adopted calves. Can you go over with us about how big they are, about how much they're weighing? I'm gonna just try to refresh ourselves here quick. I know, let's see, for Maddie. She was 38 inches and 250 pounds at our last update. So about how big do you think she is now?
I'm gonna say she's about 270, but she's probably still around the 38 inches.
Okay.
Maddie is jerseys are different. All jerseys are different, and they
Mhm.
typically stay very small. And Maddie is one of those that has just stayed very small.
Gotcha.
Her mom was tiny, so she just has taken on the same trait. As you can see, she's actually the smallest over there
Oh,
in the group. So yeah, so she's just tiny. She's just a
yeah.
little petite little calf. So,
Oh, and
yeah.
then Faith, we had said she was about the same height, 38 inches, but about 50 pounds less. So she was about 200 pounds at our last update. Would you say she's a little bit bigger now too?
I'm gonna say she's bigger. Yeah. See, Faith is definitely bigger. She's just kind of petite, too, which is like a dairy. She's very dairy.
Hmm.
But I would say yes, she has definitely grown. She's 42 inches, and I'm gonna say, um, yeah, she's probably gained another 15, 20 pounds. So
Wow. So she's
she's
probably
growing.
about
She's growing a
right.
lot faster.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
220, 230 pounds, maybe 39
Yeah.
inches or so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice. Wow. They have gotten,
Yeah.
they're definitely growing then, especially from when they were first born. They were teeny tiny when you first
Yes.
had for a cow. They were definitely very little. So they've grown so much. Now, about how much will they weigh when they're considered full grown?
I would say around Jersey. It just depends. Like Maddie is probably going to be more around 1,000 pounds, maybe.
Hmm.
Faith may be like 1,200. So just kind of
Okay.
depends.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe not
it'll
quite that
depend.
big.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And that'll be around, so they get to join the milking herd around 2, but I believe if I'm correct or if I stand corrected, let me know, Farmer Katie. But I think around the age of 4 is when they actually finish growing and fill out and mature by the time they're about 4. Is that right?
That is right. Yes, that is correct. Yep.
Gotcha. So about
Yeah.
about 4 years old, they'll finally hit that max weight and that max height. And so everyone that's following, maybe you'll have to just make predictions over the next couple of years. If you happen to be in the same classroom or if you're a homeschool group, you can take guesses on how much she'll grow every year until then. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Farmer Katie, we have
Yeah.
loved touching base with you today. Thank you
Yeah.
so much I mean, your cows just look so happy and content hanging out with you on the
Yeah.
pasture and they're nibbling on their feed.
They
So
are.
thank
Oops.
you for letting us adopt them and join you today. I do
Absolutely. I love it.
yeah. Oh, well,
love it.
thank you. We do have one more question for you.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you're
Mhm.
milking those cows every day, you're taking care of those cows every day, you've got to process the milk every day. It sounds like a lot of work. But so we'd love to know your why. Why have you chosen this as your career as a dairy farmer, to do what you do every day?
I guess because I grew up to love it. My parents didn't make us do chores,
Hmm.
but in making us do chores, I grew to just love the dairy.
Hmm.
I watched, it's so rewarding. It's very rewarding, no different than hosting and having the little kids send in all the goodies that we absolutely adore.
Hmm.
All of the little letters that are sent to the calves
Oh,
and to us. And I mean, I just love it. It's so rewarding to me. It's like I was put
Oh.
here on earth to be a farmer. So,
Oh, I love that. And I'm
yeah.
sure
Yeah.
by watching how big they're growing and by happy they are, it's pretty clear you guys, you and your family do a wonderful job caring for your cows
Thank you.
and the land, right? You've got to take care of the land
Yes.
so it's healthy for them
Yes.
to be able to eat and to keep
Right.
your ecosystem and environment around you healthy and safe for your community. So thank you so much
Yes.
for just being an
Yes.
amazing farmer
Thank y'all.
and doing what you do every
Yeah.
day. So we really
Yes.
appreciate it. Is there anything else you wanted to share with us before we wrap up for today?
I think that was it. Just that, I mean, we have really thoroughly enjoyed all of the little goodies that the kids have sent to Hope and I mean to Faith and Maddie.
Mhm.
And yeah, so
Oh,
no, it
awesome.
has been great. Yeah.
Good. Well, and thank you everybody for being part of this program. We have loved having you. We hope you enjoyed today. You can always come back and watch parts of this on record if you had any of your favorite parts where either Maddie or Faith was spotlighted. So we welcome you to watch the recording, or of course, we welcome you back to join next year. Registration and re-enrollment will open on May 1st. So you are welcome to join us then. And we'll be back again with some returning farms, some new farms, and of course, new baby calves that will be born in September. So we'll start the program in October. We hope to see you join us. And Farmer Katie, thank you so much one more time for just being an amazing host for
Thank
him this
you.
year. We've loved having you.
Yeah.
And we will be in touch with everybody again soon. So take care, everybody. Have a great summer and see you in the fall.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.